How to pipe a rosette cake. Start off with your lightly iced cake in the front of you and your 1M piping tip inside your piping bag. Cut the tip of the piping bag off so that the piping tip can fall through, and then begin to fill the piping bag with your white icing or whatever color you choose. Once you have filled your icing bag about 3/4 of the way, begin by holding your piping bag in whichever hand you feel more comfortable, whether you are left or right-handed. One of the things to remember when piping rosettes is that it is important to make sure that you always have enough icing in your bag in order to follow through and complete the one rosette. Start off at the bottom of the cake, squeeze your piping bag just until you see some of the icing come out. Begin to lift your hand very slightly, then move your hand around in a counterclockwise or counterclockwise, whichever is the most comfortable rotation. Continue all the way around until you have made a complete circle. Just before you reach the end of the rotation, release the pressure so that it's ever so slightly to ensure the rosette has a nice tail or finish. When moving on to the next rosette, it's important to give yourself a small amount of space, but not too much. You want the rosettes to be touching, but not completely overlapping each other. By doing this, you're ensuring that there won't be any gaps on your cake and everything will flow nicely. Continue these steps until you've reached to the top of your cake. You will probably achieve around 3 rows of rosettes, depending on the size of the cake as well as the tip that you're using. Once you have reached the top of the cake, start with the outer section of the cake and work your way to the inner center. This will ensure that the rosettes are beautiful and in an organized manner. Once you have reached the center of the cake, now you have officially completed your rosette cake. During this video, I chose not to use the 1M tip. Decided to go with a smaller rosette, and so we used a 22 tip. There's different tips you can use. Majority of the time it's a 1M, sometimes also a 2D, but we chose to go with the smaller tip of a size 22. You'll be able to try it out and practice and kind of have your own idea to decide which one is most comfortable for you or with the desired look that you're trying to go for. Thank you. This is Medora and Christina bringing you your training video on how to pipe rosettes on a cake.